And hello, world. This is Edward Bevilacqua, the editor of La Voce, and I am very fortunate to get 5 minutes of time from Mr. Rino Armeni, and who's been in Las Vegas for how long?
Since 1989.
1989, and this is one of the great Las Vegas people that knows everything that you probably want to know. And I don't want to take away any mystery. I just want to jump into it. And so, Rino, we just started talking about Italian culture, or what do you have to do to be successful? And I interrupted you mid-sentence and said, no, we got to start the tape. Wow. So I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, when I came to the States, and
which was what year?
In 1980.
1980.
Yeah, my children were very small. One wasn't even born, but I was lucky to have an amazing wife who also has the same beliefs as I do.
And she from the same part of Italy?
She's from England, from French parents.
Okay.
And basically, she grew up like me with a lot of love from the family. So one thing we knew is that we wanted our children to grow the same way that we did. And most importantly, being so far away from our families, it was important for us to give them that special Italian culture or French culture, whatever it is. And so we always made sure that they understood the value of dinners together, Sunday dinner, Easter, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, you know.
Keep going. Sunday night.
To the point where I'm very proud that my daughter, I have 2 daughters and a granddaughter, another grandson coming, that I don't even have to call them, remind them that it's a holiday, it's a Sunday. They always show up, they always want to be with us. And, to the point where it's actually funny that, my second daughter got married and her husband asked permission to spend one Sunday night with his family. And my daughter got really upset about it. So she said, okay.
Instead of with your family.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So she said, okay, I will compromise. I will come to your house. However, I don't want to lose one day with my family. So she told my wife, we're going to have brunch. So then I can go to his family for dinner.
So she was there for Sunday.
Right. That's the depth of our culture,
And
so, and people, I have a lot of friends who really envy our relationship. And so it's a good thing. And there is a lot of Italians here in Las Vegas who do the same thing.
And when you say Italians, you mean literally
America.
People from Italy?
No, people who are born, in the States
Okay.
from Italian parents. They came from the United States who have the same tradition as us.
Yeah, that's what they grew up with.
Yes. So it's very interesting to see them in action when in business. They're very American, but then they're very loyal to their friends, like an Italian. They enjoy their dinners together and so forth. So I think that the culture of family is.
Now, what about hard work?
I have to tell you that if I have to compare between an Italian from Italy and American Italian, we work very hard. We work very hard. We work 6-7 days a week at a time, and the business here is very competitive, as you know. In Italy, there is 60 million people. The country is small. There are not enough infrastructure to give jobs to everybody. So here is different. There is opportunity. You can fall here in this country. I mean, I had to rebuild myself 3 times since 2008. In another country, I would have never been able to do it. But here, it takes some little bit of brain and some hard work.
Well, you reminded me. So the woman I was talking to, she's from Brindisi, from the same part of Italy. And she came over and she says to American people, you people don't understand. You're walking on gold here in this country. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. This is an amazing country. The opportunities are always there. You just have to grab them. You have to be willing to grab it. So they're there.
And so, as you said, you've done it many times since 2008.
3 times.
3 times.
I rebuilt my companies 3 times.
And so, would you say that's part of your Italian heritage? Is you just don't give up? If you pursue something?
Well, yeah, I think I've never been somebody to give up
Uh-huh.
anything, and I always believe that I don't take anything for granted,
Uh-huh.
and I always believe if you believe in yourself, I firmly believe you can make things happen.
Okay. And
It might
earlier,
take a little bit longer.
so earlier you said when it comes to business, you think you might be more American than American.
Yes.
Okay. So explain that a little bit, because I like that.
Well, what I mean is, I'm very demanding on myself to start with. You know, when I worked at Caesar's Palace, I had 1,800 employees, 82 managers, and I was in the trenches with them. I was very demanding on myself, like I was very demanding of them.
Mhm.
So I'm always very demanding on myself.
As demanding of yourself as them.
Yes, yes. I'm very organized. Disorganization drives me crazy. That's why when I go to Italy on vacation, I stay away from as many people as I can. No, but you know, I really believe that, you know, the brain alone does not always make you successful, and that you really have to work hard and smart and hard.
Okay.
You know, and the results will come.
And love of family, and then education is
balance.
important to you.
You know, listen, this is what I tell people all the time, right? A lot of people have lost a lot in the last 6-7 years, right?
Right.
People have lost private jets, cars, homes, everything. But the biggest lesson I learned was how lucky I was to have a great family. That's an amazing support, especially mentally.
Yeah.
To create a balance in your life. So, you know, when things don't go right, you know, yes, it's kind of disappointed, but you can let yourself down. But if you don't have a good family, it's easy to let yourself down because you have nowhere to go, right?
Yeah.
But when you have a great family, have a great wife and kids and grandchildren, I'm so lucky with my son-in-laws. They're like Mr. Mom. They're amazing. You know, that gives you so much strength.
Sure.
You know, to survive. I mean, listen, when we lost almost everything, my wife at our age, okay, we're not young anymore, but she came to me and says, you know, it's okay. She gave me a hug. She says, we start all over again. Now, how many people at 60 years old say that?
Not many.
Okay.
And, you know, on that point, talking about how important family is, you sound like somebody else we interviewed, and that's Frank Bonanno, who you know.
Oh, Frank, yeah. Well, I'm more generous than Frank, but honestly, no. I think Frank is the epitome of entrepreneurship, successful entrepreneur. That's what I admire most about him and his wife, that calls herself Pepper. Yeah. And his son is as hardworking as his father.
Yeah.
And Frank never gives up.
Yeah.
He's always in the front, trying to create more business for himself, create a bigger empire. He's good to his employees. He's definitely is one person that I admire in Las Vegas for.
Speaking about what they're doing, they just, and you know the food business better than everyone, right? A little bit. Okay, a little bit. So Frank, they just opened a place called Prime Burger at the Venetian.
Yes.
A high-end hamburger place. And Rob had told me, you know, and it was a Haagen-Dazs that they had, and they said, you know what, the rents got raised, and you go into an ice cream place, you buy ice cream.
Right.
And but people don't want to pay $12 for a scoop of ice cream.
Correct.
And it's just a hard business when you have high rents to make money with just ice cream. But with the hamburger, people buy hamburger, they might buy fries or onion rings, a drink, and the check average goes up. And right now people like gourmet hamburgers.
Right.
And then, you know, when Frank is early 70s, looks like he's 60s, early 60s, and they're opening a Trattoria Reggiano in Summerlin, downtown. Yeah.
Frank never stops. That's what I like about him. And he's also, you know, a successful businessman has to learn to adapt and adjust. You can't always be lucky with one of your business, right? Yeah. But a good businessman knows how far to go, and then you have to cut your losses and start something new. And he's always been very creative.
So now back to you, though. So was your first thing here with Caesars?
Yes.
And then you ultimately were running the whole
No,
food and beverage, or what?
I was vice president
Okay.
for the beverages Caesar's Palace. I was there for almost 7 years.
And was that in the good old days when it was easy to comp people?
That was when Caesar was an empire, before Caesar became part of an empire.
Okay.
Before the barbarian arrived, right?
Before Alaric the Great, yeah.
Yeah. So then became, it's normal. It's normal. When a big company buys you, you become part of a big company, right? You're not anymore standing alone.
And to your point earlier about making decisions that's getting business done, when it's your empire, you want to do something, you do it. When you're part of somebody else's empire,
you have to, in today's world, you have to ask 20 people to make a decision.
And 19 of them are thinking what can go wrong, right?
Right.
Instead of what can go right, they're more focused on what can go wrong.
Unfortunately, today, politically correctness is what runs our way of making a decision. And hopefully one day we all wake up and realize that's not the way to go. And I'm pleased to hear, sometimes I watch Fox, I like to watch O'Reilly and Megyn Kelly, I think they're very passionate in what they do, and I think they're the first one who talk about, let's get away from this political correctness. Be correct.
Be correct. That's a great thing. Can I use that in La Voce? Instead of being politically correct, let's be correct.
If people go back in time, politics, the word, politics comes from a Greek word, obviously, but what is politics is always some kind of the interpretation of many people. Politics is intrigues.
Right.
Yeah. It goes back to the time of the Borgia, to the popes, to whatever.
Yeah.
So when you say political correctness, the younger people today don't understand that what they are expected to do and to be is to be honest.
Yeah.
But they shy away because they don't understand that word.
They think you are not supposed to offend anyone.
You're supposed to be a politician.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah.
Hey, the wind is going this way. It's like
yeah. So
so it's very, so I preach that to my daughter, and she got it. My daughter got it. My younger one, she understands that, that just be honest,
And sometimes it's tough when you have pressure from other, you say one thing that offends somebody and you get criticized for it. Nobody listens to what you actually said. It's that it wasn't politically correct.
Well, the best part is when they encourage you to be honest, but then when you say something, they shoot you,
So you have a charitable organization.
Yes.
And is that the school thing? Is that?
Yes.
And
I've been in charity for 30 years.
Really?
First of all, because I believe that when you are lucky to have what I have, even though it's not that much, you have to give back to the community to embrace you. Las Vegas embraced me a lot. And I owe Las Vegas the little that I have today, including an amazing family, right? So I've always been doing stuff for other people. This is my third organization, actually. I start one, I'm there 10 years, and then I get this itch that I want to do something even bigger.
This is my last something one, bigger, not different.
Right. This is my last one, though. So I wanted to, when I look around at the new generation, I see people who are much smarter than we were.
Much book smart.
Book smart, yes, than we were. And I see that they need some help, I think, to understand also the way to work the streets, rather than just look into a computer or look into your phone or your iPad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dealing with people.
Right.
And all types of people.
Absolutely. They're all different people.
Not just people like you, people not like you.
But also understand how people are, I don't think media teaches you how people are, okay? Media sometimes there is a lot of emotion and other stuff, but that's what we do. That's why we train the students the way we train them, so we give them scholarship to attend UNLV, University of Las Vegas. Graduate school. They can take. They can choose between law, business, and hospitality, and then we give our own education through our 33 board members who are leaders in many different industries. So the goal is to create the leaders of Nevada, the new leaders, the future leaders. And when they graduate, they will be so round, they will understand so many different businesses that it's going to make them more successful than anybody else.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, why Las Vegas as opposed to San Francisco?
Well, I live here, you know.
That's a good reason.
I like to go
that's a correct reason. That's not a politically correct reason.
No, but
that's
actually, you know what? One thing we have thought about it too is when we are ready, we're going to try to reach to other universities around the United States. The goal is to bring people to Las Vegas.
Sure.
Brilliant mind to Las Vegas. Keep the people from Las Vegas to Las Vegas so that our industry can benefit from it.
Yeah.
So as soon as we are ready, we're going to go out and make presentation. I'm actually going to Reno in April to make a presentation to you and I.
Okay.
You know, to the business school.
Sure.
And then eventually I like to go to California, which is close. I like USC, UCLA. You know, I think there is a lot of potential in what we do.
Oh, absolutely. It's essential.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, and to your point about giving back, one of the things we find at La Voce are a lot of people support La Voce because, you know, especially Italians, Gino Ferraro, Frank Bonanno. Yeah. These people, it's, you know, we have a duty to do this. This is a thing that we do.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you brought this up because I think today I would like to make an appeal to Italians or American Italians. Okay. We have an amazing tradition. Okay. I mean, how many races have the history that we have?
Zero.
Right.
One, ours.
But unfortunately, our country, for thousands of years, was always divided between different states.
Yeah.
Was never like United States. They all came and they decided, we're going to become a country. Right?
Yeah.
So the unfortunate thing about us is that with all the talent we have, and we have so many leaders, very successful leaders, contrary to other races.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the Jewish people, for instance. Okay. The one thing I admire most about them is they're united.
Exactly.
We are not united.
Right.
Because I think if we were united, we would do a little bit more for the community than we do today. Writing a check, everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Create a legacy for our culture, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's completely different.
And that's why I was talking to you about doing, I would love to see an Italian park, an Italian library.
Sure.
That our kids can go there and relive our legends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also relive their kids. Their kids can relive their parents' legends.
Sure.
And culture. And unfortunately, you know, that would have been my dream a few years back. Now I'm like,
well,
so busy.
Yeah, no, but let's ask this question. Where would the piece of property be?
Well, you know, okay, ideally,
get a piece of private property.
Well, ideally, if we want to promote it throughout our culture, would be nice to have it on the strip. But that's almost impossible because of the value of the land, right?
Right.
But even Summerland, somewhere between the strip and Summerland, whatever, would be nice to have a piece of land where we can build like a little museum. Sure. You know, a library and a park.
Right. Yeah.
And call it, you know, Piazza Italia, whatever you want to call it. You know, and maybe eventually have some Italian restaurant there. Make it a center for people to visit and relive our culture and, you know, our ancestors.
The culture in general and Las Vegas, the Italian Americans who are the Italians who came here and
pay tribute to the people, Italian Americans who made this city.
Yeah.
You know, that would be my ultimate dream. So if Frank Fertitta is listening to me, or Tito Tagbell,
we'll make sure they do. We'll make sure.
You know,
that's a great thing. And I know you have to get going. I'm watching the clock, and this has been great. I told you we can't do this in 5 minutes.
Not Italians.
Yeah,
there is
exactly.
No 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Italy.
Yeah. So Rino, I really appreciate your time. On behalf of La Voce, thank you very much, and thank you for being a great representative of Italians. And I was told I'm doing these interviews, and your name came up many, many, many times.
Thank you.
So thank you, and anything we can do at La Voce to support your cause, we're here for that.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak up.
And now there's one last thing I would like to do. Well, two things. Question: sauce or gravy?
Sauce.
Okay, where does this gravy thing come from?
I have no idea. I never heard of it until I came to this country.
Okay. So this other woman from Brindisi said, gravy has flour in it. There is no flour in sauce.
Yes, we don't have any flour. I think gravy is a word for heavier sauce, I guess, because I never heard of it until I came to this country,
Okay.
To us, it's about fresh tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, basil. That's how I make my tomato sauce.
Okay. All right. So that's number one. Number two, when you say goodbye, if you could say goodbye to the Italian community in Italian.
Well, arrivederci, a presto.
Okay. That's short and sweet. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.